Alright guys, back with another video for you today, and I'm speaking about the house of Xerjoff and 3 fragrances from Xerjoff in their Spray to Help collection of fragrances. Those 3 fragrances are Save Me. As you can see, I've been using quite a bit of this one. It is really great on me. It smells fantastic. Second one called 1986, this one right here. And then finally a third one called Coexistence. So if you want to find out about these 3 Xerjoff Spray to Help fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, today I'm talking about 3 fragrances from the house of Xerjoff. Save Me is a yellow floral, white floral combo. Just absolutely gorgeous. 1986 is all about citruses, very cozy with tea. And then finally, Coexistence is a mysterious fragrance for me because every time I wear it, I think I'm going to be wearing a fruit bomb, but it develops into a rosy oud. Anyway, really 3 gorgeous fragrances, but I have my preference to one of them, and then I really enjoy a second one, and then the third one I like, but I'll let you know what they are. But before I do, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. And Xerjoff is a favorite house of mine. They do release some excellent fragrances, and these have been around since last summer, I believe the beginning of summer. And the Spray to Help mission is to promote significant improvements in the way the world addresses territory and community, contributing to the realization of solidarity development goals. So the Xerjoff Spray to Help fragrances are all on Xerjoff Universe. I have a link in the info box. They're 2021 launches, 50 milliliter for 197 euros in Eau De Parfum concentrations. So we're going to start off with Save Me first. So Save Me out of the 3 is my favorite from the collection of fragrances from Spray to Help by Xerjoff. This one actually is so good. I first started wearing it when it was warm on a trip last summer, and I thought, wow, this fragrance just blooms on me and becomes beautifully gorgeous. Now, I've been really digging floral fragrances quite a bit lately. This one to me is more of a yellow floral combo with white flowers, and it just really smells amazing. It's almost as good as something like Accento Overdose from Xerjoff, because on me the fragrance just comes alive with a little heat, blooms, just beautiful. If you like white flowers with yellow flowers and with aromatic touches, you gotta try Save Me. But Save Me features notes of chamomile, mimosa flower, sandalwood, Ylang-Ylang, tuberose, gardenia, pink pepper, cyclamen, musk, and jasmine. But it is a truly to die for gorgeous wear. Absolutely one of the most amazing fragrances that I've smelled on me in the last year. I just think it wears just totally gorgeous on me, and it's concentrated in a smell, very long lasting, and also very creamy. There's this sandalwood that is very prominent here that comes off very beautifully on me. Now, the chamomile along with the mimosa are pretty much what's running the show here. So it's kind of like a herbal, lightly minerally, note of the chamomile, a little bit like tea-like as well, contrasted with this kind of powdery mimosa note. It was very unique, kind of a yellow flower smell. It has baby powdery touches, little light almondy nuances as well with this flower. So that's pretty much what the fragrance is all about with the sandalwood, but you're definitely picking up lots of tuberose and gardenia, and also a little bit of jasmine along with the Ylang-Ylang, which is a little bit of a tropical floral touch in there. But of course there's some pink pepper here, which adds the spiciness, and along with musk. And as I said, it's a beautiful wear. In the heat, it just blooms and becomes a fantastic wearing experience. And I think I haven't been excited. Well, I enjoy a lot of Xerjoff fragrances, but with the fragrance Accento Overdose, I really enjoyed quite a bit. And it's a floral, fruity green fragrance. Here, I'm reacting very similarly to it with its floral touches. It's just absolutely a gorgeous fragrance to wear, and I hope you guys get to try this one because it's really, really beautiful. And those of you that love floral fragrances, definitely get your noses on it. And I've said in a few other videos, Xerjoff does 3 kinds of fragrances really well. They do gourmands really well. They do floral fragrances really well, and also the ouds and the ouds and roses very well as well. And this is unbelievably gorgeous. On me it is, and as I said, I hope you guys get to try it. And the Save Me fragrance is all about a trust that defends European wildlife, keeping an eye on international related campaigns. So all these 3 fragrances have messages, and this one's actually created with, in conjunction with, I should say, Brian May, Dr. Brian May of Queen. So there's a lot of information about this on the Xerjoff Universe website. You can go find out. But the first fragrance I'm talking to you about is Save Me from Xerjoff. I'm speaking about 1986 next, but out of the 3, this is the number 3. I should say, it's not a bad fragrance, but I've smelled fragrances like this and I think it was just not doing it for me, because when I first sprayed this I reacted so amazingly positive. With this one, it's mostly a citrus with a cozy tea note. You know, it was nice, it smells great, but for me, as an amazing smell, Save Me is amazing. But 1986 is not bad, it's just I've smelled fragrances like this and I wanted something more from it. But once again, this is a 2021 launch. It came out last summer. The notes are green tea absolute, mandarin essence, cardamom oil, orange blossom absolute. So in the end, you're actually experiencing a green tea fragrance contrasted with the mandarin orange essence, and spicy aromatic touches from the cardamom. There's a little bit of a pungent quality from the cardamom, not strong though. And then you also have the orange blossom absolute. So if you enjoy citrus florals, if you enjoy citruses, and you enjoy this cozy tea smell, this is definitely a fragrance for you to try. I suppose the green tea / cardamom thing kind of also creates this kind of like a spicy chai kind of a thing, but for me, I'm used to drinking spicy chais with black tea rather than green tea, but there is that little bit of an effect in here as well. But you know, it's a really, you know, it's beautiful, it smells great, it's just I wanted something a little more, and Save Me did it a lot more for me than 1986 did. But again, everybody's noses are different, you might react differently to this one than I did, but once again, it's gorgeously made. I just prefer Save Me and Coexistence a lot more. And I'm going to get to Coexistence in a bit, but 1986 Perfume, you can support the mission of the Piedmontese Foundation for Cancer Research, established in 1986 to make a significant contribution to the defeat of this disease. So each one has a cause that they're dealing with, each of the Spray to Help fragrances, and I like that these have these kind of causes for each different fragrance. Now on to Coexistence. So Coexistence, on the other hand, was also really, really great, and even though I prefer Save Me as my favorite out of the 3, Coexistence is really, really great, and it came really close to Save Me. I am really into florals nowadays, that's why this one's really doing it for me. But this one is Oud Rose, but it's kind of like a chameleon-esque fragrance. But one thing I want to point out about the bottles are each hand painted. So I've seen bottles of this particular perfume and they all look different. It's almost like, you know, one-of-a-kind bottles, and when they do the painting of these colors, some are a little thinner than others, so you'll definitely notice differences in the bottles because they're all hand painted, which is really, really unique about this particular fragrance, and I like that about it because you get one-of-a-kind bottle. I've seen a few, as I said, and they didn't look anything like the one I have here in my hand. So entirely hand-painted bottles, one-of-a-kind original from one to the other, but this one features notes of Cambodian oud, amber, vanilla, rose, jasmine, osmanthus, bergamot, musk. So here's the thing with this particular fragrance. It is kind of chameleon-esque, and when I first started wearing it, I was like, wow, this is a fruity fragrance, which it is when you first spray it, but it develops into a rose and oud combo, which, you know, goes from one extreme to the other, as in the styles. And I like that about it, because it was a really big surprise for me the first time I wore it. I thought, hey, I'm enjoying this kind of like a fruity floral kind of a thing, really a tart fruitiness at the top. And then where am I getting rose and oud from? Like hours later, I was in rose and oud land. So it acted very, very unique that way, and I like that because it's a mystery, it's a surprise. I didn't expect it, but it was good. What happens with this one though, there's no mention of fruits, but I get like a passion fruit or a tart berry like smell up top, and I'm assuming it's the combination of the osmanthus note in here. They do credit osmanthus. Osmanthus is this flower that smells fruity, and even though I'm smelling something like a passion fruit or, you know, some kind of a tart berry thing, I believe, well, I know for a fact that osmanthus has a apricot peach kind of a smell. So with the osmanthus and the bergamot working together, there's a little bit of a tart fruity start, not a little, a lot up top, which is really great. As I said, that's what I experienced when I first wear this fragrance. But slowly but surely, the tartness goes away, the fruitiness stops a little bit, and the rose appears. It's kind of like a greenish metallic rose, and then the oud appears, and it becomes and develops into a completely different fragrance. But you know, there's a little bit of vanillic touch in here, softens up the oud. The oud isn't a little bit on the animalic side, but still, it's tolerable. It's not overly animalic to me. It's definitely wearable. But then again, I do enjoy some animalic, so I would sample first, but this is really, again, another gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I like these kind of fragrances a lot from Xerjoff. They know how to do these kind of fragrances. And again, I love that surprise. I think you're going to be wearing a fruity, floral, spicy, kind of a ambery fragrance, but rose and oud, that's what it becomes, that's what it develops to, and that's a great, great surprise for me. So Coexistence is all about elephants. 8 herds will migrate through London and the royal parks, each carrying a different scent, raising funds and awareness for projects that help humans and wildlife coexist as they go. So that's the story for Coexistence, and it's a great story. And again, 2 wonderful fragrances from Xerjoff. Actually, I should say 3, but for me, the ones that did it mostly were these 2. I really enjoyed it. But I think what happens with Save Me is, on a really, really hot, humid day, it's perfect. And here, we haven't really, in San Fran this year, we haven't really experienced much of a summer. And I thought we were going to have a warm Indian summer, but it seems like it's going cool. I don't know what happened. I kind of like it because, you know, nobody really has air conditioning here in the city. I do in the studio here, but I kind of enjoyed the cool summer. So I think this particular fragrance would have been a little better when it was really hot outside to experience in the heat, because it's all very, very fresh. So I didn't really experience it too much with the, you know, the type of weather that it should be appropriate for. But I think some of you might enjoy something like this, because I think it's in line with some of their other fragrances like Neo. If you're fans of fragrances like Neo, I think this one definitely should be appropriate for you to try. So either way, those are my thoughts on these fragrances. Save Me is so, so good, guys. Floral lovers, please check that out. 1986, all citrus and cozy with the tea. And then, of course, Coexistence, as I said, fruity at the top, and rose and oud when it's drying down. Really beautiful, beautifully made. Those are my thoughts on these 3 fragrances. If you are curious to check them out, please click this link to Xerjoff Universe in the info box, and you can go find out about the different Spray to Help campaign fragrances that I've spoken to you about. There's a lot more information there that I shared with you. Either way, thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please let me know if you've sampled these 3 fragrances, and after watching this video, and if you haven't sampled the fragrances, which one sounds the best to you? Let me know. Put a comment down so I can find out. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching today again. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.